Hey, multiplex movies off of the OOC alt on Ekas portal. This is a message to the people of Eka, as well as the fine people who are the creators of Lashina. Oh wait, am I pronouncing it right? I think it's yes, Lashina and Eka, who devised this chat that I really love to roleplay on and everything like that, because that's one of the hobbies that I do on the spare time or whatever. You know, just have a little fun, you know, with character design and story writing and interacting and stuff like that, especially for it to be a vor chat. Now, on that note of vor or whatever, somebody be like, oh, well, what's that or whatever. It's really just strictly, I wouldn't say strictly, I would just say it's just the fetish of imagining to be, or either performing the act or being the subject on the prey area of imagining yourself being eaten or swallowed by another creature, yada yada yada. You can Wikipedia it or look it up on the internet, type in vorophilia, and you know, you can find stuff on the topic. You see a lot of stuff on YouTube about it too or whatever, but that's one of the things I'm into. You know, like I said, I mean, somebody can call it weird, whatever. I mean, you know, that's what I'm interested in, you know, as far as anything, you know, I mean, it's just strictly a fantasy, you know, as far as anything has nothing to deal with, you know, anything in real life, like, okay, being like a cannibal or something like that. You're right. No, it's just funny or fun, you know, to, you know, play around with, in role play, or you see it in cartoons and stuff like that all the time or whatever, where, some fox eats some, little boy or something like that or whatever. They just, I like to fantasize sometimes about me being that little boy or somebody like that or whatever, because it's a little bit more in depth than just that. I'm just skimming the surface just a little bit. I want to just give a layout so people ain't freaking out and thinking like, okay, well, this guy is like crazy or whatever, he's weird, yada yada yada. Weird, yes. Not normal, yes. Not your typical person, but you know, I'm just not afraid to express what I like and what my interests are and stuff like that. I mean, just about everybody who knows me pretty much knows I'm in that subject area. Well, as far as people who know me closely, I'll say it that way. You know, I ain't got nothing shy to hide about that or whatever, but this is to the people who you know, come to my OOC alt, which it stands for out of character, multiplex movies on Ekas site, and you know, as far as anything or whatever, you know, I'm just giving like a little shout out to the people who made it, because I think that was an ingenious idea to put this together and stuff like that, because, you know, especially with the way that the HTML works on the site, where you're able to customize your own profiles, it's just a superb job. I mean, I really have to say I really have a lot of fun here, because I used to be, oh yeah, I have a macrophilia fetish too, whatever you want to say it that way. You could research it. That's just fantasy of imagining somebody being like, you know, super much bigger than you, or you being small, or whatever, however you want to say it or whatever. You know, I used to be on this site called Big Furs and Offscales, and you know, offscale.org. I used to be a member of them, and their post limits were just so short. And it's like when you come to Eka, you know, I can sit there and like write like, you know, like a college paragraph, or you know, that like almost like, you know, almost like a term paper size post, and just have like a great time just role playing or whatever. And I met a lot of good people on this site, or as far as anything, you know, as far as like, you know, role playing with role play partners and stuff like that. You know, they're just average people. You know, some people even think or stuff like that turn out are. And you know, I mean, it was just an interesting discussion. I mean, it's a lot of, you know, conversation going. It's rather that I personally like. Again, you know, this is like, okay, somebody would say, well, what's so interesting about it? You know, it's just a chat room. Well, you know, you got to have a little imagination with it. It's like kind of playing an interactive story and stuff like that. Of course, I'm talking to the people who are on YouTube who see this, not so much the people from Eka, or yeah, Eka or whatever, because they understand it, you know, in aspects or whatever. Right now, currently though, I'm waiting on Dual Raiden to do basically a work for me, for my character Secret. I got the sketch up, but I'm just waiting for the coloration and stuff like that to come in. You know, just, you know, because like I said, this gives references like, okay, well, why I'm like, you know, I get so aspects about, you know, the gen or whatever, as far as anything, like, why do I put up a I'll try to speak up for them too in favor to like, you know, at least saying, okay, this need to be fairly analyzed and saying, okay, well, not all demons are bad, yada yada. It's because I took something that used to scare me as a child and I turned it into something positive, I guess you could say. Or an expression is an art form, if you want to say it that way. Especially when you look at people like Amina and stuff like that, Faria, Karima, all those type of things or whatever. They're just inspired by, you know, some situations that I've experienced in my life, and I was like, you know, I mean, I've learned, I guess you could say, not to be afraid of it. It's like one of those things, like, okay, I actually learned. It's funny, like the thing you actually were scared of as a child, you grew up to have a strong passion towards or whatever. So I guess, you know, it made an impression on me, you know, and these people were wondering about that, you know, that's where it comes in at, you know, from my personal experiences and stuff like that. I'm just fascinated by the topic of the spiritual realm and, you know, God's creation and all that, you know. It's just that stuff is really impacts me deep, you know. And, you know, I'm just posting this video up, you know, like I said, so just get, like, you know, a little shout out to, you know, the Ekas site and everything like that. And, you know, for those who don't know about the site, you know, as far as anything, or know what Vora macrophilia is, you know, you can research it, because, you know, the crazy thing about this is that a lot of people are into this. Not like as much as the foot fetish community, but, you know, for some people who have foot fetishes or whatever, they can be potential macrophiles too. Yeah, just do some research on it. Alright, this is Multiplex Movie Sign.